All right, our first honoree will begin tonight by probably increasing the size of the Hall of Fame by about 10 times. Because our first honoree is not a person, it's not a team, it's not a family, it's more of an event. A program that has spanned over 8 decades and impacted hundreds of boys and girls. And I say girls because thanks in part to a classmate of mine, and Joe Giantas, Kim Fritz in 1994 became the first female to participate in the mission bouts. You think about how women now are still breaking down barriers in sports all around the world, but at Aquinas, a barrier to what is probably the most stereotypical non-female sport was KO'd 25 years ago. Hey, the Aquinas boxing program, that's hard. I witnessed it firsthand. I wanted no part of it when I was in school. Those who participated themselves said they all felt the same way at first. But as Kim and others I've talked to have said, one of the best things about Aquinas boxing is that the program taught the boxers that they could do it. They could get through that program. For what else it taught and for what boxing at Aquinas is, let me read the fine words of Nick Valentino, class of 1995. Aquinas boxing is Dom Arioli. It is the exhilarating and sometimes bloody 3-round sparring session in the roped-off area of the dungeon. It is the disdain of Saturday morning road work. It is the self-confident conviction that the Sunday morning optional practice is in no way optional. It is that extraordinary feeling of exchanging 9 minutes of hooks and crosses with your best friend, only to be followed by an exhausted embrace and a newfound respect for one another. Aquinas boxing is the epitome of the ideal that success can be reflected through your dedication and your commitment, even if the result is not in your favor. These lessons have stayed with me my entire life and have made me a more dedicated person in my community. It has improved my resilience as a professional, and it has made me a more understanding husband and father. Aquinas boxing is, was, and always will be a clan that does not just celebrate your victories, but helps you, in some cases quite literally, to get your butt off the canvas and fight another day. Aquinas boxing is a family. We can take immeasurable pride in that only a fraction of the thousands of our fellow Little Irish actually have laced on, and then later Velcroed on, the gloves, to nervously answer the call to come out of the red or blue corner. In short, tonight, we can celebrate. Because of the boxing program, we will forever be a part of Aquinas history. That was from Nick Valentino. At this time, please welcome to the podium a Hall of Famer himself, class of 1973, Dom Arioli.
Thanks, Dad. This is quite an honor. Just want to congratulate all the other inductees of tonight, and I'm just so proud of our program, and just the committee just to get our program into the Hall of Fame. When I got the phone call, it was just I was ecstatic. It was just unbelievable that the program, which the success of the program, and I appreciate what Nick Valentino said, but it's not made up of one person. It's made up of many people who make up the program. A lot of you are here today, and that's the success of the program. And so when I found out that I was going to be up here making this speech, to be honest with you, I'd be rather fighting Cal Benally than being up here talking. And that was back in the 1970s. But I was very lucky. In the 1960s, I was a big fan of the bouts, thanks to Father Biondi. He used to sneak me in, and I'd watch the kids train. But in the 70s, I was a boxer. Then in 1980, I became head coach of the program. But I met so many great people, and it's such an outstanding program. When I found out that I was going to be up here and speak, like I said, I'd rather be fighting Cal Benally than doing this. I did something I wish I did a lot more of when I was at Aquinas, and that was my homework. But here goes. So I did a lot of research, and I came up with these things. And in 1932, when everything started, the legend has it that it was two students got in a little bit of an argument, and they were going to settle it after school, so they charged admission. The money would go to the mission club. It's not exactly how it happened. The way I understand it through my research, it was a bunch of students who put together a boxing program or a boxing event, and they raised $100 that night. And they fought on the gym floor, and a alum came back. John Mastrella was a Supreme Court judge. He was quite a boxer, and he boxed Max Russer back then. And that's what I learned, 'cause I did a lot of research around this program. The Bouts became an annual event, and each year the attendance and student participation grew. It started in the gymnasium, and it grew so much that they moved in the auditorium. In 1946, it grew to 1,400 were packed in the auditorium to watch this tremendous event, and they raised money for them. They had 2 weeks of eliminations then. And in 1947, they took the Bouts and they moved it all over to the sports arena in Edgerton Park. That's where the NBA Rochester Royals played, now are the Sacramento Kings. And the Bouts drew crowds of over 3,500 fans. 3,500 fans, and raised quite a bit of money. In 1956, the Bouts moved to War Memorial, drawing crowds of greater than 5,000 and raising thousands of dollars for the missions. So that's our high school program that we have. That's why this is such a phenomenal program. In 1963, the Bouts moved back to Aquinas. Before that, the year prior to that, they had some celebrity referees, and this is what the program drew. They had Sonny Liston, who was then the heavyweight champion of the world, Mickey, the toy bulldog Walker, who was Ring Magazine says the pound for pound one of the greatest fighters that ever lived, Juicy Joe Walcott and Carmen Basilio. They were guest referees. Now, if you take it to how things are now, you'd have Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao be the referee, celebrity referees now. That's how great the program was back then. In 1963, the Bouts moved back to Aquinas. We were in the old gym. And then later we moved over to the Wegman Napier Center. In 1994, when we went to that center, what's fitting? You got probably the greatest high school boxing program ever, and the greatest boxer who ever lived to come and honor us that night in 1994. Just a little history. I've got more to go on, but I think I starting to hear the music go off, so I need to hurry things up. But one of the things in my research for tonight's dinner, I read many articles, and I recognized a lot of the names of the boxers in these articles. And one thing I noticed is many of them were very successful people. And there was policemen, firemen, teachers, attorneys, judges, contractors, business leaders, doctors, and also dentists. And I happened to be sitting at a table with a dentist who was a 4-time champion at the University of Notre Dame, besides being a champ at Aquinas. And that's he's a friend of Aquinas Boxing, and that's Dr. Phil Rickey. Stand up, we're going to give you an 8 count. Okay, at this time I would also like whoever was involved with the program, and that could be, if you're a coach, a volunteer, to stand up and be recognized, because you all contributed to this great program. So if you're involved in the program or box, stand. I see a lot of you out there, so stand up and be recognized. Okay, I got a couple more minutes, and I'm going to try to go through a letter that was sent to us by by Dick Corbett, class of '56, three-time Mission Bout champion. And it was read to our Mission Bout team in the locker room by our good friend, my good friend Bob Schwab. And I'm going to try to read through. I hope I do as good a job as Bob did that night. But Dick's letter goes, "The Mission Bouts transformed my entire life, and before you step in the ring, think that this experience might change you in your life ahead. It did me. The exciting thing about boxing is how it helps train us for our future lives. It teaches us several critical things that we need to carry with us. They are preparation and practice, step in with confidence, focus on your target, always keep your head and your eyes looking where you want to go, act quickly and deliberately, recognize that things continually change in front of us. We must respond to that. When things get tough, never give up. If you get knocked down, get up. I was knocked out and saved by the bell. I got up and fought the next round and won the fight. You can do it if you stay focused and never give up. Good luck tonight, Dick." Dick is a very successful businessman. I see many of my former boxers here tonight. I've talked to many over the years. And looking at you and seeing what you've done with your lives, it makes me feel proud of what the program has done. Because as being coach of the Bouts for 35 years, I'm always asked the questions, "Coach, what does the season look like?" I never give them a straight answer because I never know. The only time I know is 10 to 15 years later when I see what the kids have done with themselves. And all I could say is that a lot of the kids that went through the program are very successful. I'm very proud of each and one of them. And I'm so very proud of what this program's given to me as a person and helped me grow. I'd like to mention just a few people who were involved with the program right from the beginning. Max Rusher, who was one of the first boxers who started the program. John Mastrella, Abe Rath, Hunk Fadas, and my mentor, and somebody I really looked up to, somebody who was very unassuming, was Al Bercudo. We have an award for him. So all I can say is God bless you. Remember, keep your hands up, and Coach Dom is always in your corner. Thank you.